The next verse is a bold new global music initiative inspired by We Are the World on its 40th anniversary. Spearheaded by Tony Robbins and produced by legendary hitmakers Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, the campaign invites artists, fans, and media around the world to come together, create a new global anthem, and help end hunger through the 100 Billion Meals Challenge in partnership with iHeartRadio and Zoom. We Sing is a new single sung by Burgandy Williams, written by Ed Kessel and Marc R. Hoffman, and video producer Elisa Tornow, is thrilled to be supporting the next verse in the 100 Billion Meals Challenge. Those four individuals happen to be joining me right now on WBGO. Atlanta, Georgia native and singer Burgandy Williams. Welcome to WBGO, Burgandy.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure to see you and have you on the show. Multi-award winning composer, producer, director Edward B. Kessel founded Sound Imagination Video, a music video and audio production company in 1986. Great to see you, Ed.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Drummer, singer, songwriter, and producer and co-writer of this wonderful tune, Marc B. Hoffman. Thanks for joining us, Marc.
Thanks for having me.
Also, we want to welcome Elisa Tornow to the show as well. Thrilled to be supporting Next Verse, and she is the video producer of this wonderful song. Great to have you aboard, Elisa.
Great to be here, Doug.
So let's start with you, Ed. How did We Sing come about, and tell us about why you wanted to help the Next Verse initiative?
So I was introduced to the Next Verse initiative through DJ Rock M, and I just happened to meet him. We were both working and helping out with the Central Jersey Jazz Fest in Somerville, New Jersey, and we ended up having dinner afterwards, and we became fast friends. And I had invited him over to the studio, and he's a fellow trumpet player. We had a lot in common. He came over, we started chatting away, and then he had mentioned the next verse um, through his friend Elijah Wells, and who is produces events for Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. And so he was telling me about this, and we were playing music for each other. He was playing me some of his stuff. I was playing him some of my stuff. And when he was telling me about the event, just I started thinking about the song that Marc and I wrote over 20 years ago. And I played it for Rock, and he loved it and thought it would be great. We just had to rework some of the lyrics, which Marc and I did. And the thing with this song is Marc and I always felt like it was a very special song, but we never knew what to do with it. It's written in 3/4. It's not a 4/4 like typical pop song or anything. And it's kind of got this world music sound to it. So when I played it for Rock, he was like all over it, and we reworked it. And then we brought the amazing Burgandy Williams in to sing it. And it is quite a challenging song to sing because it's super rangy. And she just happens to have that like it's nothing. She's amazing. So anyway, that's kind of how the song came about. And then Rock was told, with this event, it's really great if you can have a video to go with it. And we had Elisa record some behind the scenes uh, footage that we included in the video, and then, some stock footage of, you know, hunger scenes and really what this is about and helping people and, what can happen when the world comes together and makes a difference. And really, we're hoping to inspire some change.
Yeah, it is a wonderful tune. And Burgundy, your voice, I like to describe it as full of hope, power, urgency, and friendship. Tied all together, perfect for We Sing. How much did you enjoy belting this tune out?
When I tell you, I was a little skeptical if I could do it. When I first heard it, I'm like, oh, but I forget I'm a soprano. And it was so much fun. Working with Ed and Elisa and Rakim was awesome. They really, the direction they gave me was pivotal. And the song is just so well written. I really enjoyed it.
Mark, when you hear Burgundy say, this was so well written, this was 20 years ago for you guys putting this together. When you heard her sing it, what came to your mind?
That it was awesome, more than I could have ever hoped for. She put all the emotion and all the feeling into the song that it needed, and it really expresses what we're trying to get across, which is we all need to. You say we sing, but it's really more than just singing. It's really we come together with love and hope, and that's what song is really about. And she gets the point across effortlessly, and it's just something very special.
Lisa, when we think about video production, I mean it makes the whole thing when people see the song. It not only do you hear the singing and the music behind, but really the visuals help. All the way back when we remember the days of MTV, visuals really make a difference. Tell us about putting this together.
It was a real labor of love putting this together. The song is just beautiful, and Burgundy just blew our socks off when she sang it. And so being able to tell the story, to highlight the problem without really diving into it and wallowing in it, and being able to show that there's hope and the idea of the world coming together to solve this problem was really the storyline underneath the video for it. And I just found, no matter how many different versions of it I did, I just found myself getting emotional watching it.
So when can we see the video?
It's available right now. It's available on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and as well as LinkedIn. And so will share you the links very happily.
So when people, what was the reaction, from Tony Robbins and that? Have they seen the video, Elisa?
I don't know that they have.
Okay.
I have not seen a response yet for them, but I can't wait until they do.
Yeah.
This is something that I think we're all very, very proud of putting together.
Yeah, it's pretty much hot off the press. So,
Yeah, I'm going to talk to all of you about some of your background, but Mark, I know giving back has really been a part of who you are.
Yes, a while back I haven't had the time recently, but a while back I was doing something called oh boy, now I can't think of what it was called. But we used to go into hospitals and sing for sick children, and it's very moving when you see these kids who are having a very hard time, and you're going in there singing for them. It's very emotional. It's hard to deal with. Um, but yeah, it's just something that you feel you need to do. Sometimes you have to give back, and this song is hopefully going to do that. It's a very emotionally lifting song, and that's what we're hoping the world will see.
I mentioned award-winning Ed Kessel in the introduction. Ed, you've worked with so many great people. Uh, Obviously, we're a jazz station. Can you tell us a little bit about the project you did with Tony Bennett?
sure. And I gotta say, Tony was one of the nicest people I've ever worked with. He was so just genuine, and he was a sweet guy. Worked on his Playground album. We put together a kids group to back up two of the songs on the album, and I helped write the vocal arrangement for it, and help produce the kids and all of that. And that was recorded, I think it was at the Hit Factory in New York, when it was still around. And so that was amazing. We also did VH1's Save the Music with Tony. And it actually all started with the US Open. because he was singing America the Beautiful, I believe it was, for the opening ceremonies, and we had the kids group backing him up. So that was really an honor working with him. I've worked with lots of famous people. There's famous and then there's legendary, and to me, Tony is a legend, you know.
Hmm.
So
Burgandy Williams is hoping to be a legend. She's well on her way. And you
I
probably
think
have, yeah, you probably have seen her already. Hey, I recognize her because she's already been involved with some major projects, including Hugh Jackman having her involved with Radio City Music Hall during his residency there. And he picked you out of a bunch of videos and said, "This lady can sing," right?
Yeah, it was a surreal moment. A friend of mine recommended an audition, and not knowing what it was for, but because it was involving my favorite song, "Never Enough," I went, and it ended up being his show, and it was a whirlwind. It was a beautiful, beautiful experience.
Also, Simon Cowell has seen you perform. Tell us about the UK show that you were on where Simon gave you some advice.
I was on X Factor UK, and I think it was at 2018, I believe. And Simon was really cool. We got along really well, and I forgot what the advice was. Um, Something about that I wasn't a sob story. I was a story of hope,
That's right. That's exactly
and
what he said.
I loved that because I don't want to be the sum of my struggles, and I like to lead and live with love, and I'm glad that that's actually working.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about you've had many jobs in your life so far, and you can relate to many different people. So when we talk about the need to help others, that puts you right in the spot where you've been for a long time, right, Burgundy?
Absolutely. I believe that my life is a life has, well, it's always been meant to be a life of service. And I'm happiest when I'm doing stuff for people. And when I'm making a difference in somebody's life is when I'm the happiest. So to engage with people and make them smile, to make people forget about their day and just enjoy their moments is really what I live for.
When you heard Burgundy first sing this tune, you kind of mentioned it a little bit, Elisa, when you were putting this together. When you have a powerful voice, I guess it's a little easier to match some footage when you have this range of singing going on in a 4-minute song, right?
It was we were really lucky. We were able to record it here in the studio, so we were able to set up inside the vocal booth, outside the vocal booth, and then inside the mixing room, Ed's office, to get different points of the recording session to be able to kind of ha take the arc of creating the song and have that be part of the video itself.
I think what's important is we have all of you today joining us is it's a real team effort to put out a song of this magnitude and make it have an impact. Ed, tell us a little bit about this studio production company that you formed several years ago.
yes, more years ago than I like to admit to. But yeah, no, I started it when I was pretty much fresh out of college and started in the jingle industry and just started writing and producing jingles, really on my own. I had a 4-track cassette deck, I had a drum machine, and I had a synthesizer, and I was in business, you know what I mean? So I was producing demos and starting to work, and Marc was probably my first writing partner, actually, and we'd done tons of jingles together. And from the jingles, eventually it led through different people I was working with to movie scores, to Broadway, to voiceovers and everything and anything, sound design, everything and anything in audio as well. And then at a certain point, somebody who was working for me was just amazing with a camera and visually. And, suddenly we started doing video, and we started showing that to our clients. And, now probably about 15 years later, we're also a full-blown video production company. And, you know, I consider myself blessed. It was my parents were like, if you're going to major in music, you will have another major. Like, it's not an easy field to become successful and make a living in, but I'm very, very grateful that that's happened. And Marc was there for pretty much the whole journey. And I'm very lucky to have Elisa, and now meeting Burgandy. We're gonna have Burgandy in the studio a lot more now.
Well, what take us back to those days, Marc, with Ed, because I'm sure at that time there was always doubt starting a new company and working together, and now both of you with successful careers and being a part of
Yeah.
this new song, it has to take you back a little bit.
Oh yeah, like he said, we started out. Um, I think the very first thing we did was like he was still living at home with his parents, and we were in his bedroom, I think, recording. And then he moved out to and got his own place, and we had a studio in his basement, and like you said, we did a lot of jingles. We started writing songs together, and I'm a singer myself, and in the early days I was probably singing on like 80% of the
Most of them.
jingles, and then songwriting and stuff like that. So I was singing on that stuff too. And it just, kept running its course and going further and further. And we have written and produced some great things together, as well as separately. Uh, I perform regular as a lead singer of a band, and I'm
Eagle
just
Mania, right? Eagle
Eagle
Mania.
Mania, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And in fact, I'm out in Pittsburgh right now. We're having a show tonight and another one tomorrow night.
Where are you in
Uh,
Pittsburgh?
well, it's actually outside of Pittsburgh, Irwin, Pennsylvania.
Which is about 15 miles away from my parents' home.
Oh,
My
okay.
parents are gone now, but that's where we lived in Delmont, PA, very
Oh,
close to Irwin there, so we know exactly where you're at. So I
yeah.
hope you have a great show tonight.
Thank you.
Ed, you're a member of the New Jersey Advertising Hall of Fame since 2016. How does that come about?
So, yeah, so basically, my information was submitted to them, and you have to evidently meet certain criteria, and having contributed in many ways, not just to the advertising industry, but also, uh, helping people, mentoring people, and things like that. And yeah, I remember the woman from the ad club showed up at my studio one day, and she didn't knock on the studio doors when my studio was like partly in the basement and then in addition to my old house. And she came through the basement and like popped into the studio, and I'm like, hi. And she like, just surprised me with this thing. And then there was a beautiful ceremony that they had. And, I was inducted with, I think, five or six other people who, become friends with some of them. And, that was a really nice honor.
Tell us where your studio is located.
So it's located in Rahway, New Jersey, and I've been at this location for about 5 years now.
Yeah, and there's a very much a New Jersey feel to this interview today, which is wonderful. Burgundy, I'm curious
Yes.
as you sing a song that you want to reach people, you want to touch them. As you were performing this, and now you've seen the video, you've seen how everything is put together. How have you been impacted as an individual hearing the final product?
I loved it. I've been such a powerhouse singer for the majority of my life. I forget the other nuances of my voice. And it starts off so sweetly, so imploringly that it it's a quiet start, and it really makes you think, and like, oh my God, imagine if they did. And I love that. I love that it gave me time. I felt like I had time.
You've been a part of some very interesting projects. When I see in your bio the groundbreaking production of Jesus Christ Superstar Gospel at the Alliance Theater and in Martin Luther King Jr.'s Monumental Memories at Constitutional Hall in Washington, D.C. I mean, these had to be some powerful shows for you.
Incredible. Incredible. Jesus Christ Superstar Gospel was so dynamic. So dynamic. I will never forget that. That was my first large scale show that I'd ever been on. And then doing the monument at during the show for the King monument was, I don't even know if I can find the right word for it, but it inspired me to want more for my career. And I really realized I could do this. That was the first time I ever got a standing ovation from such a large audience. And to be praised for the work that I was doing from people I had seen my entire life, because it was like all of Black Hollywood that braved the storm, because that was during Hurricane Sandy at the time. It really opened my eyes to want to do more theater and expand musically as a singer.
Hmm. Lisa, now what can people do now when they see this on Instagram? Is there a process you want them to do? You want them to support the song? How do you want to go about this?
So really, we love the song. We absolutely love the song, and we want it to be heard, absolutely. But we are really concerned about making this for the next verse, being able to bring awareness for the next verse, for being able to bring awareness for the hunger. So if you can, I will share with you all of the links. If you can go onto your favorite social media platform, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, share it with people who you think would be interested, other musicians who might want to participate in the next verse. There's going to be the live recording session on December 16th, which is going to be amazing. And then the release of their song on Christmas Day. So anyone who would want to be participating and support this, that's really what we're concerned about right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We sing, by the way, that we're talking about this song, sung by Burgandy Williams, written by Ed Kessel and Marc R. Hoffman, and video produced by Elisa Tornow. Our guest today is all in support of the next verse and the $100 billion Meals Challenge. It's always heartbreaking when we talk about hunger because it could be our neighbor and we don't even know about it. When we talk about hunger, it can't always be seen. My daughter is a elementary school teacher, special ed teacher, and she's always told me about, having an extra little snack for the kids because she knows that they're hungry. And Ed, when you know to be a part of this project and try to help out Next Verse, it is a cause that impacts not only, we always think about other countries that have it, but here in the U.S., here right in your own neighborhood, here in Jersey, here in New York, hunger is a huge problem.
It is, and it's incredibly sad, that people don't have enough to eat. And it's, you know, any chance I have to contribute or help to raise awareness for something like this, it's just very meaningful. It touches my heart, and because this is it's just wrong. Like kids should have food to eat, and people, adults, whoever, old people, everybody should have food in their bellies. You know what I mean? That's just a human right to me.
Well, you can certainly see Burgundy Williams because she's performing a lot in New York City these days. You can find her at various spots, especially Ashford and Simpson's Sugar Bar, as well as the Apollo Theater. And so the uh, the scene is quite good for you these days, Burgundy, isn't it?
Absolutely. I feel like the world is my oyster. The last 10 years in New York have been transcendent. And I was just at Sugar Bar last night hosting open mic. So it's a great time. I'm about to go on tour in Spain next month. So I get to do what I love and get paid for it. There's no better way to do it.
I invite you to go on to Instagram and see We Sing and check it out. And make sure the most important thing is that we are all supporting the initiative to end hunger as quickly as possible. It's a huge problem, and it's taking a lot of time and support in order to just make a dent. So we hope that We Sing certainly calls attention to this major crisis in our nation and beyond. I want to thank all of you for joining us today. Congratulations on We Sing, and we look forward to the response.
Thanks so
Thanks,
much.
Doug.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you.